Morning guys, we're off to another adventure and right now we are at Clark International Airport. Sobrang excited ko for today's trip because it's our first time flying out of Clark and we're gonna do an airport review. So ang flight natin today would be from Clark to Taipei to Seattle, and then yung return flight naman natin would be Seattle to Taipei back to Clark. So we can do an airport review both for departures and arrivals para makita nyo rin kung gaano ka-different yung experience dito sa Clark compared sa NAIA. So Clark Airport serves as an alternative to NAIA or Ninoy Aquino International Airport, and this is located north of Metro Manila. So right now, it's actually one of the fastest growing airports in the Philippines. There are both domestic and international flights dito. And as mentioned kanina, pupunta tayo ng Seattle. So come with me, let's explore the airport. So on our way here, we rode the P2P bus, point-to-point bus from NAIA Terminal 3. And then, diretso ng drop-off dito sa Clark Airport. So it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Sumakay tayo dun na around 3:30, 3:25 a.m. The bus left at 4 o'clock a.m. And right now, dumating tayo at around, well, exactly 6 a.m. So it was a 2-hour trip, but that was in the wee hours of the morning kasi. So if ever you'll be riding the P2P bus from the NAIA Terminal 3 to Clark Airport during rush hour or peak hours, a little extra time. Although gumamit naman kami ng Skyway and NLEX. These are the expressways. Kaya medyo mabilis na rin yung biyahe. So from the bus drop-off, hahanapin lang natin yung papuntang international departure. So right now, nasa ground floor tayo. These are the arrivals. Domestic and international arrivals. And sobrang strange sa feeling na makakitang walang tao dito sa arrivals. So behind me is the arrivals area for both international and domestic. Pero the first thing you'd notice na very different from NAIA is that walang katao-tao dito sa arrivals area. I'm not sure if it's just because wala pang mga flights na nag-arrive, but NAIA kasi is very accessible. So if you have loved ones na dumating dito, of course, you'd like to meet them at the airport. So we have arrived at the departures area, level 3. And mag-check-in lang tayo ng mga gamit natin. Get our boarding passes. And then I think security. But I think I'm gonna explore the pre-security part ng airport din para makita nyo what Clark has to offer before you even get inside. And just right outside the departures entrance is where you could find the famous or iconic CRK letter installations. And a tip pala for smokers, there's no smoking area inside, whether landside or airside. So this is the closest one, just right outside the departures entrance. So, two things I've observed pagpasok pa lang sa terminal is number one, the architecture or interior design, sobrang may character and mafe-feel mo talaga na you're flying out of the Philippines. So, hindi lang siya basta-bastang building na itinayo lang for the sake of it. But, look at this. It has a very beautiful interior. And I did a little Google search din pala on why the terminal has that shape. And apparently, it represents the mountains that's near the area. So there's Mount Pinatubo, Mount Arayat, and that mountain range. So that's number one. Number two, pagpasok pa lang, there's no initial security check. Like, diba sa NAIA, when you try to enter the domestic departures area, may guard na maghahanap ng flight itinerary nyo or boarding pass nyo, and it's just added time bago kayo makapunta sa check-in counter. So dito, pagpasok nyo ng terminal, walang ganong checks. You can proceed to the check-in counter. And if may mga relatives kayo, loved ones or family members who would like to spend a little more time with you, they can enter the terminal. Now we're gonna look at what the airport has to offer before you do your check-in. So, pagpasok mo pa lang sa terminal and you turn to the left, ito yung makikita nyo. So, there is near your check-in counter D, there is Bluesmith, and nandito rin yung counters for the TIAZA Travel Tax and DMW and even the Civil Aeronautics Board. And then, let's go sa kabila. Alright, so dito naman sa right side, pagpasok nyo ng terminal and you turn right, may makikita kayong currency exchange, foreign exchange, and there is a 7-Eleven. So, may convenience store to get a little something-something pag medyo nagugutom kayo while you're in line bago mag-check-in. So yeah, we will be checking in dito. We will be flying Starlux today, and that's a flight from Clark to Taipei. So after we've checked in, let's explore the restaurants na nandito. Alright, so dito sa taas, we have Meat Depot. There's Hapchan. I think coming soon tong Peri Peri. And then there's Wendy's. And then Gongcha. So far, those are the only options we have here, but there is a very nice view of the airside. So this is the domestic departures. Sa gates na yun eh. So, pabalik na tayo sa baba, and then we're gonna pass through immigration, go through security, and then explore natin anong mga options meron sa airside. But so far, amazed. Hey guys, done na tayo sa immigration. So, nandito na tayo sa airside. And paglagpas ng immigration, ito yung una niyong makikita. a lot of stores to buy some goodies, souvenirs. So there's Clark Travel Retail. I'm not sure if it's duty free, but it looks like one. So the airport design is catering to making shoppers buy more kasi kailangan mong dumaan dito bago ka makarating sa gate mo. So yun pa lang yung store na meron dito so far. Clark Travel Retail. There's a great selection of chocolates, wines, and then meron din dito perfume. But paglagpas niyo, that's where you can find some other stores. So merong Lacoste, and then the travel store, and then Dark Circle Bros, Tom and Tom's Coffee. So maraming food choices. And then there's a Korean and Japanese restaurant. And a very, very spacious area. So, ayun na yung gates. And I think magkakaroon pa ng food court dito. I see a lot of places under construction. And then, may currency exchange din sa loob. There's Mary Grace na closed pa. And then lounges ay nasa taas. And a tiny souvenir shop. Balik tayo sa my gates. So, that's basically what you can find dito. Kind of marami naman, but not as many as other international airports. So, still a long way to go in terms of passenger comfort. Alright, so naghanap lang muna ako ng maupuan para magkwento ko sa inyo yung security and immigration process. So, usually kasi, in other airports, you would go through immigration first and then security. But dito, once you go past the departures entry point, security siya kaagad. And then after security, you would go to the left if your flight is international para dun ka sa immigration officers. And then you would go to the right if your flight is domestic. So, medyo efficient siya for me. Security, then immigration. Sa security, separated siya into two lines. One for males and one for females. So, if mag-jowa kayo, hiwalay muna kayo for a bit lang naman. And then, sa immigration, sobrang bilis. It didn't even take me 5 minutes. And sobrang bait ng immigration officer. So, ang tinanong lang sa akin is, saan ang final na destination? Anong gagawin doon? And kailan balik? At saka, what's the last one? If I am working for the government. And nakalagpas na tayo. It's actually 8:19 a.m. Kaya sobrang sikat ng araw. And ito lang yung pwestong nahanap natin. Now, going further airside, that's where the gates are. And right now, there's only one long stretch of the terminal where the gates are located in. And once you find your gate, you can opt to just sit there and wait for your flight or keep exploring. So there, we have Goldilocks dito sa loob. And we also have oh my god, may rest and go. Sa Mactan, Cebu ko lang nakita to eh. So this is a massage chair where 100 pesos could get you 20 minutes of massage time. And ipatry natin to. But first, hanapin muna natin yung gate natin. And then there are water fountains din dito. There. So pwede nyo i-refill yung mga tumblers nyo. Then there are charging stations na walang kaagaw. Parang onti lang ng tao dito. Well, that makes sense kasi onti lang din mga flights ngayon eh. I mean, that are flying out of Clark internationally. I think there are just 14 flights. So, it makes sense na maluwag. And then there's Island Souvenirs and Mulak. So, ang dami pa rin options even after security, after immigration. And then we'll look at the domestic side. So ayan, we have reached the end of the terminal and I've already shown you anong meron dito sa Clark Airport as of now, December 29, 2025. And overall, it is a very, very great terminal. I'd love to fly out of here again. And then it's a very solid airport for international departures. And finally, we are back dito sa Rest and Go. Sabi sa inyo, I'm gonna try this out eh. Alright, thank you so much for joining me in today's vlog. And I will see you on the next one. I-review naman natin yung Starlux Airlines. See you!